Thank you so much for being here. I'm Carol Gelderman. I'm one of the co-owners of the Garden District Bookshop, along with Christopher Tidmore and Barclay Rafferty, who's somewhere in the back. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to keep it really brief because we're very lucky to have the music director of WWOC, Murph Reeves, here. He's going to come up and intro the band. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our publisher, UPMS, for supporting the event, and thanks so much for Kyle and the band for being here. And thanks to all of you, and thank you to our booksellers. We would not be able to do any of this without them. So with that, here's Murph.
How's everybody doing tonight? Great. No, really, how y'all doing tonight? Come on, go.
It's church time.
It is very much church time. Musical church time. I was fortunate enough to get a copy of this book several months ago, and I read it. You know, as a music guy, I wanted to learn about brass bands, and this book very quickly became more than just a book about the Stooges Brass Bands. It became about all the brass band culture, how black men live in this city, and how important brass band music is to the city, and how interwoven it is into the quilt of the city. It's an indigenous music only to this city, and we have to do everything we can to celebrate it and keep it going. So I'd like to introduce to you Andrew Baham, the author, Kyle DeCoste, Walter Ramsey, Virgil Tiller, and Growe. Please give it up for the Stooges Brass Band.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. I see so many wonderful faces, people that I have really missed seeing, honestly, during the pandemic, so it's so nice to see so many of you here. Yeah, we're just going to kind of kick things off with a bit of a conversation here about the book. I don't know, can I get a show of hands of like how many people have already read the book? Okay, we got a few here, and some other folks who are very excited, of course, a lot of people who are also part of the story. Kind of in the course of writing the book, we started back in 2015, and it's been about just about 6 years now. So while the book, the subtitle of the book is 20 years in the New Orleans Brass Band game, in some ways it's almost 25 years, because of the last 5 or 6 years of kind of writing it, and during the course of kind of writing that book and being kind of a witness to the Stooges story, I feel like I've also kind of been brought into the Stooges story, and it feels like we're kind of opening like another chapter in that story. So it's been really a really incredible experience, and I'm so grateful for all the guys, of course, being here, and for all of you to kind of come here and kind of celebrate the book with us. So there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. I guess I'll just kind of open it up and ask the guys, what is it like kind of finally having the book be out, and finally having people read that story, You don't have to be there to tell people the story. You can kind of just let the book go and do its thing. So, what does it feel like to kind of have 20 years or 25 years kind of down on the page?
I don't want to say that.
But first and foremost, it was very, very old. That's what I'm going to start there. Well, actually, I've always wanted to do this, just like everybody else on the panel and in the band. And so just to see it manifest into a literary work, and that people can read and enjoy, and just get like a very intimate look into what 20 years of being with a band of brothers that has its ups and downs and sideways things happening. It's it's surreal, and it's in because you never think that something like this can even happen. But I'm glad it did, because just like a lot of I was just making a joke earlier. We were making a joke earlier talking about who knew we would be doing a book would ever come out. I said, well, look, if I had enough time to write, I could write about so many different characters in New Orleans, you know, just to come up with about 4 or 5 more books. And it's just, you know, it's great to just kind of get that first taste of, you know, what intimate culture is, and, you know, just a band of brothers who've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. And so it's surreal, but I am, you know, kind of elated and excited to enjoy it.
You got anything more? Anything at all?
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, these dudes are always joking. First thing about this band that I like to say thank you to my brothers all up here and all the band members that's not here with us today too, because it's been a long journey. And one thing that we promote in our band before like just music or making money or anything like that is having fun. You know, if we're not having fun, then we just don't want to do it. So if you see us laughing and clowning up here, this is what we do all day long when we together. And it's fun because even if we be stressed about anything life might hit us with, when we get around each other, it's like, it's just become like, oh, that's that, but this is, we here now and we deal with what's fun, you know. So writing this book, for me, it's been a great experience. Now, unlike Andrew, I never thought we would do something like this. Like, I don't even like to write nothing, so I know about it. That's not about to happen. You know, so yeah, you text me and you mention all this, I'm gonna come back with cool. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Okay, thumbs up. You know, I got you. You know, but so writing a book was like, what? But going through the experience of it and dealing with all the different band members for so many years, because it's not just us 4 up here, it's like 20-some band members that's in this book writing about their stories and their experience of what happened. And you get to learn so much more that you thought you knew, but you didn't. You know, and it's like, wow, okay. And as we was reading the book, we learned some things. It helped me to reflect on some of the ways I was back then. I was like, oh, all right. I was just left field with that one. But I never knew until I read it in a book. Because, you know, sometimes as me being a band leader, these guys protect me. You know, like I have to go out and deal with the business, deal with the people. And so sometimes I could come back and I could be hard. And, you know, rather than just telling me, like, punch him in my face or anything, they don't do that. And they'll be like, all right, and they'll just hold me up and just, you know, I might have said something crazy to them, but instead of them getting upset or getting mad or, you know, retaliating or something, they kept it to themselves. And so, reading that book, I'll be like, hold on, what? You know? Yeah, so I'm like, oh, that's how you felt? Like, you know, so it's funny because we brothers and we ain't gonna fight, but it's just like, all right, I didn't know you felt like that. Okay. And I had to read it to hear you felt like that. So this book was one of those experiences for me, like, all right, cool, just, you know. Oh, you have your own mic?
Yes, I do.
You wrote this one?
Yes.
Why you don't have a mic?
Because I have. Thank you. So for me, the book is part of learning what happened before I got into the band. I wasn't an original member, even though I've been in the band for a long time. The emphasis from Walter and Andrew, I think the book for me, it emphasized the family. So this is my extended family. So when things happen, I call Walter, I call Al, I call whoever's in the band and I know that I'm close to, and those are the people that I know I can trust. Even to the point where when I had to see my mother in a year and a half just because of the pandemic, when I called, they were like, well, how's Walter? What about me, Mama? I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not your son. so just having that, we were really intertwined in how we work together, and I think that's when I joined the band. That's what I sought out for at that time, was to have a home and a family with music. I had, all of us been playing music for the majority of our lives, and we love it. And you want to love that, so you want to share that love with other people. And so when you're able to do that with low incidences, it becomes a great feeling. So just like he said, when he plays, like when I play tonight, when we play tonight at the Well, and whenever we play, that moment in time in my life, I'm not worried about anything, not even you, not the book, nothing that's going on in my life, even the good things or the bad things. That's my time to be in that zone with that music, with my friends and my family. And so when I'm done, that's why I pack my stuff up and leave, because it's done. That's my stress reliever for the week. That's how I get, through the week. And another thing about the book that I like is that it touched the social aspect of what's going on in New Orleans with young black men, from teenagers until being an adult, a father figures, uncles, brothers, stuff like that. So a lot of times in the public and in media, we're not looked upon as being those types of citizens of New Orleans. It's just it's not our fault. It's just the way things are with just the media, period. But we are doing great things, and other than just doing great things, we love each other. And so you don't see that much. You don't see that publicized that much. And for that to come out in the book, that 20 young men, black men, love each other. Man, what are you about to say?
I didn't know you tell your mama I'm okay.
No, I did not. I did not tell my mother you were okay.
I'm gonna call her myself.
So that's just what it is for me. And I appreciate that what Kyle, brought forward, even that the authenticity of how we speak in the dialect, so
You told me what code switching was.
yes, that's why. Yeah, you didn't switch the code on the book either. Whatever came out of my mouth, you just put it in there. And I appreciate that. And in the beginning, I was like, man, I sound like that. But that's just when you're talking that normal vernacular, when you're talking to your brothers. And at that time, and throughout the whole process, Kyle became one of us. So when he started doing the interviews, it was like I was talking to Walter or Al. Not that I'm at my job. I'm talking to Kyle. That's my dude. So we appreciate that. We accept him into the fold.
So with me, I'm the what they call Papa L, and I get a little deeper. I get a little bit spiritual. And with me, with the book, what happened was one night I went to sleep, and I had a lot on my mind, and I started realizing we're getting older, and things are changing in the world. And in order to grasp what we do in our history, it'll be okay. We make a CD, you play it and listen to the music and jam, but it comes out better and it's cherished more within something like a book. So I had a dream, and when I woke up, the first person I called was Walter. I was like, man, we could come back and make another CD. We could come back and make a whatever. I said, but making a book right now, it has to be done. To cherish what we had. And I reached out to a couple of other band members, and rest in peace, Mr. Aaron Macklin. He was one of the guys that was like, man, I've been dreaming about doing something like that for myself, but I never had the resources to be able to do something like that. He said, man, I just, I wanted to be able to, my children and my children's children and everybody to know what I've done in this industry. And writing the book and going through the book and doing the interviews and everything, we never knew. Because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. We never knew that that in particular interviews and those in particular words was pretty much Aaron's story right before he died. And to catch that aspect of it, for him to be able to give his story, and within the midst of giving his story and giving his testimony, pass away like that, it became more than just a story. It became a part of us and it's part of our lives. So when you're reading this book and you looking at the different things of it and you're going through it, remember, this is not just a book for us. This is a part of our lives. And our lives is not written all the way yet, you know, but God gave us the premonition to be able, well, gave me the thought, and Mr. Kyle, Mr. Matt, and everybody, all my other brothers up here put it together. And trust me, it was hard. It was some days I had to wake up and call Kyle, like, Kyle, what's going on, man? We've been doing this. I saw you start school, and now you're in your senior year. You know what I'm saying? I was there when you first left and went to school, and now you're a senior, bro. And now you graduated. You're in New York. I mean, like, we still, you know, what we're doing. I used to push him all the time. Let's push him. And to finally get here, and to finally be able to sit in front of you guys and present to you all something else different than what we ever did before. I mean, because we can present music all the time, but presenting a book that I can carry down and my kids can read it, and their kids can read it, and know what Grandpa did, and know what Grandpa friends did, it's cherished a little different. So people look at things in a different way. I look at things spiritually, and I believe that this book is part of us because it was given to us from God.
Wires crossing here. Yeah, I mean, every time that we've kind of gathered, you know, as a group or something, you know, since the book has kind of been done, or I mean, not even since the book has been done, because of course it came out during the pandemic. But every, you know, we had the kind of final book meeting, and all I could think about was Iron, Fat Boy, you know, because the very last thing that he said to me during one of the interviews that we had, and, you know, for the folks who haven't read it, you'll kind of get to know Iron a little bit through the reading of it. But the last thing that Iron said to me was, you know, tell Walt that you know, I want to have like an old time cookout or something like that, I think is what he said. And he was like, you know, he'll know exactly what I mean, you know. And every time that we've gathered since then, and I consider this, I mean, not an old time cookout really, but you know, I do consider this, you know, we're all kind of gathering here and kind of speaking his name kind of into the room. And yeah, I mean, that certainly means a lot to me personally. It means a lot, and I feel incredibly privileged to kind of be able to kind of talk to Iron and kind of.
And trust me, there had some things that Iron said, because when we talking to Kyle and doing the interview, we're not thinking that he's taking everything we're saying, right? So we talking to him regular, like, you know, such and such. We not weren't. He's recording it. He's writing, but he's recording. So we telling him things, and we're not really paying attention to what we're saying. So when better or worse, right? So when he sent me like the what it was
it was like I think that was when I typed up every single interview. So that was like a 300,000 word big old tome.
Right, and he was like, read over it. So as we reading and we looking at some of the things that was it, I was whoa, no. That's gonna start World War III. No, we're not. I'm personally called Kyle. We're not putting that in the book. So I know it's real, but we're not putting that in the book.
I appreciate the editorial
because he really don't know. He didn't grow up with us, so he don't know that if this part of it gets out, it becomes something else. So one of the things I did when I read it, I called Iron. I was like, look, bro, we write this book. And I'm looking at some of the interviews that you gave with Kyle, and some of the things he have in this book about your personal life and your family. I don't know if you really want to put that in there, but he stopped me right then and there on the phone. He stopped me. He said, Al, I don't care about none of that. This is my life. This is my story. For good or for bad, this is my story. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't play around with it. He said, if you think it's too raw, then tell him, edit, but this is my story, and this is what I want to tell. So inside of that book, when Aaron went to talking about things, it was like what he really wanted to be said.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you can't take it back. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Once he recorded, and we can edit it, but you can't take it back. But I would say, well, you know, this is my life. You know, it's published. This is my life. So.
Two mics, and I have nothing to say. This is a real good book, and probably the first brass band book that was written by a brass band. You know, and we like to, and besides Kyle being up here, we like to thank Matt. Matt, you stand for us, please.
Where you at, man?
Matt, stand, man. Matt also wrote a book not too long ago about the culture and different things, and it's a real good book. So when Al asked me about writing a book, and I was like, "Boy, we don't write, we play music." I called Matt up. I said, "Matt, I don't know how to do this. I know you have a book," and he introduced us to Kyle, and that's how all this network happened. So I like to thank Matt for that, because without him, we wouldn't be sitting here. And the crazy thing about being around these guys all my life so far, that like Al, we play in the band, but it's his kids right here, and they all my little cousins, because he married my cousin, you know, so you gotta watch them. Don't bring them around your family. Don't bring them around your family. You know? Yeah, so the Stooges been a good thing, you know. Like I never thought the Stooges would be a band of brothers, like a real band of brothers. It's like we get together like real brotherhood, and we allow new band members to come in. That's why I always call it like the 101 of brass band. We have trained over 50 brass band musicians in New Orleans. So if you hear a brass band on the streets from the Rebirth all the way down to a new band out there, they have a Stooges band member in their band. You know, so we never thought that would happen. But
And for the people that's recording, we do have another brother. He's moved to North Carolina. North Carolina? Yeah, North Carolina. He's the wild one, okay? So after a while of being in the Stooges, people stopped calling us just the Stooges, they started saying the Three Stooges, right? And the lifeless, the one that's been in the band long, so the longest, Walter, Ursel, and Al. And then they start correlating us with the Three Stooges. We got Mr. Mike, he's in the band now. We got old Flash over there sitting in the corner. He's our sound guy. Like I said, we got Ursel. I saw Ace Freak. I don't know where I've seen him. I seen him back there somewhere. Huh? I didn't hear it.
The Stooges history?
Yeah, oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. You better introduce me.
this is my grandfather.
I was going this way. I'm sorry.
And without my grandfather, I would have never knew nothing about this culture.
Yes.
My grandfather took me to all the second line parades when I was very young, brought me around the culture, introduced me to a lot of people in the city. Without him, I would have never started this band with my friends. Cause
we are a lot to Mr. Ashton.
Yeah,
we are a lot.
This house was the first practice house.
He provided practice.
Yeah, along with the late Miss Pat Baham, Andrew Mama, who and Andrew's father.
Yes.
Yeah. Andrew Mama's father was the first managers for the band and the first vehicles they let us break.
Right.
Yeah, so when we had to get to gigs and we was very young and we wasn't driving then, his mama and his dad would drive us around and we broke like maybe a few of their cars.
Right.
So the band wasn't the first instrument?
No. We come long before we started breaking bands.
And once again, to get spiritual again, one of the main things when Miss Baham was transitioning, we was able to show her an actual copy of the book and give her a copy of the book.
Yes.
And that was beautiful for her to be able to look at that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing she asked for, and Walter had to make sure he went and got it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even out there.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this for her. And Kyle called me and said the book is uptown at the bookstore. I said, what? Right. Yeah, I called the bookstore. They had 3 copies. I came and bought 2. You know.
But our own book.
Yeah. But this one was special because this one was from Miss Baham. She said she wanted to see that book, and she was on her deathbed, y'all. And I was like, Lord, thank you for sending that book uptown for us to go get that book. Oh yeah. And you know, you have a much better regard and much better respect for life. You have a much better respect for the people that come into your life, because one thing that I learned, which was manifested with being with the Stooges Band through my parents, was, you know, you have to give. You know, give as much as you possibly can to whomever you possibly can, and don't worry about what type of rewards you're going to get, because, you know, the energy that you put out in the world, and you know, the spirits that you put out in the air, you know, are going to manifest themselves to come back to you. You know, it might not come back to you when you want it, but, you know, it's gonna make itself, you know, available.
That's right.
Right, and also a couple other people that was with us from the beginning. We had Mr. Ursel, father, Mr. Bogan. He was there with us from the beginning, and he fought for us and made sure we had everything we needed to have. And we had a Flash before Flash, Mr. Ronnie. We call him Uncle. That's what we used to call him Uncle. He was the Flash before Flash. But when Flash came, he said, "Whoa, you done gave my job up."
So he the comic guy.
Yeah. He see your own stuff working at the stage. If y'all remember the jazz band stage, the brass band stage, Unc was one of the first managers of that stage. He used to have long dreadlocks at the jazz shows. When he started the brass band stage, he was the one that was making everybody move. And but before that, he was handling things. He was always the sound guy, but he used to handle a lot of things with us. And that's actually my wife's first uncle. So he used to be around the band all the time, and he helped us a lot. And I mean, we had a lot of people throughout the midst of all of this, you know. So we come a long ways. Long ways.
Now we ready to retire.
Yeah. We at the end. We got some copy.
Yeah. Do we want to open it up for questions? I guess if folks would. Yeah, you can say something.
Come on, Mike.
Get on the mic.
Mike Jones.
How y'all doing? My name is Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Not that Mike Jones. I just want to say something real quick. This book, this whole opportunity, I've been in the band since 2012. And I've traveled 45 states. The only states I haven't been to is North Dakota, South Dakota, Hawaii, Alaska, and Maine.
276 cities we did.
200. Well, you guys better than me.
Come on, Flash. Get him together.
So I've been all around the whole world, and coming from where I come from is rough. You know, black males in my neighborhood, they don't survive long. I got 6 kids, and all my kids love music. 6 sons. And Stooges got a lot of grandkids. Between me and Uncle L, I think we got the next generation. But I'm just getting up here. I just want to personally thank Whoa. If it wasn't for Walter, Ramsey, I wouldn't be in this predicament to play music amongst the masses. It's been a great experience. Great experience. They're gonna talk about me later, but I just want to say, Lord, I love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Drew. Drew's the fessa. He handles it all. Just being with this band, like I said, it came at a point in my life where I could have went down the wrong path. And I think a lot of people don't understand with that. It's like a lot of people come in and out of this band. It's a certain road that you could choose. And it's like, we've had it hard, but if it wasn't for Whoa, I wouldn't be able to see Nice, France, or Moscow, Russia, or Mississauga, Canada, and all these different places. So I just want to say I appreciate you, I thank you. And read the last chapter of the book. You know, if you want to hear the old stories, you can hear that too. Read the last chapters and you'll get with us. Stooges Band. You'll get them niggas tonight at the well.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of open it up for questions.
I do have a question.
Yeah, sure.
My wife and I grew up in Tucson, La Mesa, Texas, south of Lubbock. And we've lived many different places. And our family is not as much blood family as relational and stories that we've connected with, and that there's a pain that the blood family couldn't be that for us, but there was a provision of other families. So I just want to say that. Does anybody want to say anything to that?
I'll just speak to that a little bit as somebody who's, pretty new to, I guess, the Stooges family, as a white guy from Canada, who's only been down here for a few.
Go, Teddy Lee! Teddy Lee! Hey!
Out of here. But I did want to say that, it really means something to have a lot, a bunch of kind of, I don't have any brothers, I don't have any older brothers, and it does mean a lot to have people who, I'm, a bajillion miles away from my kind of biological family, my folks, my sister and stuff in Canada, but to have, a kind of support system to some extent, like even, when you're going through stuff, to just have people to kind of rely on and to kind of lean on a little bit. And y'all have been that.
Let's get in depth when you was going through.
When I was going through a breakup or something with my wife, who I want to acknowledge, who the book would not exist. Des Carson, thank you for making that explicit. We're married now, but we went through it, and I appreciate it.
Hold up, I gotta say this. I remember a night in New York, he came to my room and he said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Every time she's just, I don't know. I said, hey, that's going to be your wife. It's just like that. So yeah, we was there and we was able to counsel him and help him out. Look, they happily married. Now, that was a beautiful thing. They're expecting. You didn't say anything. You didn't say anything. Come on. Yes, indeed. Well, to kind of go into again, I'm not trying to be serious, but I am. But me coming from a family of 5, but I have 2 sisters. My eldest sister, Andre, is here. Give a hand for her. And who's been instrumental with us also. But me not having brothers, not actually blood brothers, had an impact on me, because now I had a whole new crop of, young black men who we're literally going through it together at the same time and the same thing. So we're learning the lessons together. And so I think that's the biggest, the drawback that you can take from that. It's just that everybody is in the kind of same position you are, especially when you're growing up and we're trying to filter our life the same way. So, there's no other way to kind of put it. It's not like it's our immediate family wasn't, but it's very important to know that, because I believe that we all come from very solid households, with our head on our shoulders, and we know we had people to steer us right from wrong. Our parents stood up from right and from wrong. And so for us, it was just that this is a whole new band of people that we can just go through life with, because I believe we all need them. So
yeah, no, I feel that. And I think that also helped us to help other young musicians. All of us up here, like, you know, in a black community, usually your dad not involved. The black dads are nowhere to be found. That's what how things was or whatever, however. But for us, we grew up with our fathers, you know, and our mothers, you know, so and grandparents, and we had family, you know, which helped us to be better young men when we was at like our adolescence age or whatever, to do some crazy, you know. So but having that gave us the big brother approach, how to handle the next young band member that's coming in that might not have that. And I never thought that we would raise young men to become boys to men. We never planned that. But being in this band is one of the biggest jobs that we have. You know, we raise young men to be grown men and be responsible men. And it took me and my group of brothers to do that. Cause that wasn't easy. Cause now when guys come to us, they might already have a father figure, and now we have to be that. Like, I'm dad. Oh, got more kids. You know, so and then it's not easy because everybody come from different places and in their own different space in their own world. So when you say you get a new band member and they be like, we speaking of right now today, we have a new band member today and it's like yeah, he's showing signs of this. Might need to get counseling. Let's, you know, and this is where it helps at. I get on the phone and we all get on the phone together. Hey, listen, throw it off. You know, how we gonna do this? And that's what helped build the Stooges for years. And that's what you will read about in this book, because it's like we all going through it together, but we also going to help other people get through it to get to where we at today. And that's just at a peaceful mindset sometimes.
Right. And what happens is parents start trusting their kids with us. Like, we had a lot of our band members. If you look at, say for instance, the Big Six Brass Band, or say for instance, the Troop Brass Band, or the 21st Century Brass Band, or even some of the members of TBC Brass Band, all of them was coming to us and we was kind of helping them in life. And we met their parents. You know, I had, if you remember, Sammy and Wayne, they out the 6th Ward. And when they came to us, me and Wayne started together, but when they were around us, they were way younger than us. Even Trombone Shorty, all three of them played in the band together. And when they started coming around us, they were kids. So not only were we responsible when they came around us for them, we had to make sure that their parents knew where they were. So we used to have to talk to their parents all the time, go by their parents' house, and let them know that their kids were going to be comfortable with us making money. So, I mean, there's been times where Sammy and Wayne have arguments because they were cousins. They'll have arguments and stuff in their house, and instead of their parents getting mad at them or doing something crazy, they'll call one of us, y'all better come get them. Y'all out there in here doing this, y'all better come get them. And right then and there, we pretty much had to stop what we had to do and go pick them up. And they start arguing. I remember one time, I'm in my car, and they still arguing. I said, hey man, look, listen. Y'all was at y'all house with that. That's the reason why I had to come get you. Your mama told me to come get you. Now, you're still with it. We about to go out here and make money. Y'all got to figure this out. So, I mean, from Troy Michaels, Big it's a bunch of young, and when they came to us, they were real young. I mean, Chad, he plays with the Reaper Brass Band now. And when he came to us, we used to call him Michael, because his voice was so high and so soft. He used to sound like Michael Jackson. So we used to call him Michael all the time. Hey, how y'all doing? And if you talk to him right now, if you go around Reaper and talk to him right now, he'll talk to you and say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? That's how he talked. And he came around us like that. So it's beautiful that now we see those guys growing up, and you know, the Big Six doing big things. Chad playing with Rebirth all over the world. Clifton Smith playing with Rebirth all over the world. You know what I'm saying? A couple of guys with Soul Rebels playing with people all over the world. And we seen the Iran and you know, we seen these guys come up when they were young, and they doing all these different things. There's two things. There's one, we looking at them like, oh wow, we did that. And two, man, we getting old. We getting old, but it's a fun experience. Virgil?
Thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
Who did the artwork on the book?
Oh, I can. So the artwork is by Jaron Jerk Beasley. You can check his website. I think it's theartbeasley.com, I think. Virgil said he thinks he went to St. Aug because there's a lot of picture painting.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, Jaron Jerk Beasley. You know, check his art out. He's making a lot of cool moves. His art studio is at
2121 Charter Street.
2121 Charter Street. So that's Jaron Jerk Beasley. Yeah, and when you open up the book, front cover's on the right, left. The back cover's on the left. So it's.
He definitely went to say no. You know why? It's all purple.
Because the sky is purple and I love it. It is wonderful.
Why would you throw me with my back against it?
Because you went to get me. That's it.
And if y'all didn't know, this building right here is the High Hope.
Yeah.
That's where we made our best.
So this is the High Hope. We pretty much made this place. So before, I'll be honest with you, we pretty much made the High Hope. Before we came in the High Hope, the first time we said, I talked to Walter, and I said, Walter said, we got this place at High Hope, I want you to check it out. He was right down the street from my house on St. Claude. So I walked in there, first thing I saw, they had dogs and cats inside of the bar. It was free to roam. And so I was like, Walter.
And it had sperm cells.
Yeah, there's a big sperm cell hanging from the ceiling. There was a cage, like a burlesque cage, in the other corner. Everything was real dark. So, and then when you actually turn the lights on, you're like, damn, it's worse than it would look like in the dark. So when we got actually to our motto is this: we are entertainers. And so one of the things that's in the book that I say is that, and all of us said when we did the Red Bull Street Kings, what happened was everybody, we were all happy, we were ready to go, we had the Red Bull shirts on and everything else like that, and everybody else had war paint on, looking upset. Like, man, why are y'all so mad? We're about to compete and play music. So, and eventually, we wind up owning it.
Yeah.
So we ran the High Hope for about 2 years.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It wasn't good. We did it, you know, so there was something new that a brass band had never done. So we
Just like this book.
just like the book. So we're always like trendsetters for things that we like to do. That's how we get our we get joy. Because people don't like it sometimes, and it's fun. So it's good to have that type of stuff. So that was what really put us over the as a matter of fact, when we started playing at the High Hope, it started getting hits worldwide, where people started traveling to the city to go hear us play on a Thursday night at the High Hope. So we appreciate them, and that was part of our legacy.
We have time for one more question. Anyone?
One more question if anyone wants to speak.
Where's your next gig?
No, that's too easy of a question. No, where is the next gig? The next gig, the after party, tonight at the Well.
At the Well, 1600 Basin Street.
Yeah, 1600 Basin for Thick Thigh Thursday.
Thick Thigh Thursday. See, that's one of our things that we do. So when you put TTT, Thick Thigh Thursday, you're not really coming for the music, but you're going to hear good music. So that's how we set out there.
But,
I was just going to ask if there was anything like individually or as a group we could look at each other and think about a show that went sideways that was funny. And you're all like, what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
Virgil's going to
Let me give you one.
pretty quick.
We're in Rhode Island. the picklebacks. Anybody heard of a pickleback before?
No.
Yes, never had it before. It is Jameson with pickle juice. Now, Jameson is really, really, really awful tasting. All right, but when you put pickle juice to it, for whatever miraculous reason, it tastes wonderful. So before the gig, they introduced members of the band to the pickleback. Walter doesn't drink, so I had about 6 or 7. And I was on the low end for the band. So we get up. Long story short, we pull off from the trailer at the end of the gig, and the trailer comes off the back of the... I was in charge of putting the trailer on the van. So we're riding down the highway, and Walter's like, "Where's the trailer?" I said, it's in the back. I turn around, no trailer. There's a circle back, find the trailer. Horrible. Then we had a recording of the actual recording us that night. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Now they're pretty good.
Thank you so much. That was pretty fun. Okay, so the Stooges are going to get set up to play a little bit of music. So maybe if you want to just get a refreshment while they get themselves set up, we're going to have some music in a little bit. All right, thanks so much.
Did I say what? Was that Al? That was Walt said it. Oh, Walt? And then Al was surprised by it.
So it's pandemic, I know. I'm Rick.
Hi Rick, I'm Deb. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Great. Oh yeah. That's Deb, Tanner. Okay, you are.
I'm gonna leave this running.
Okay, yeah, totally.
I see the photo.
Iron's kids.
Photo?
No, I just.
Way better space than Oh, of course, yeah. And we're gonna do signings afterward. Yeah. Sorry, what's your name? But you know, I can give you my email or something. I've got a pen here somewhere.
Cause we like to the another set. We used to hook up all the time and do a gig show. We didn't sound that good, so we was getting through. I remember when you turned the band. Do you remember when I made the city like it had smashed? All of them mixed reels to hair. We enjoyed buzz, we used to fuss about their cash. Man, we had a lot of fun, but now you dead and gone, and we miss you, son. And we wrote this song, and it's called Why. We gonna bring it to the day we die. Why they had to do it? They had to do it. The same thing we had to serve. Oh, why, oh, why? Why they had to do it? They need to change it, oh, God. They need like up to no more. But I can't remember, homie, I ain't never quit. Even with time, just call your drum.
purchase the book and give it a read, man. We love y'all. And we'll sign it. We'll sign your book. Stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned. They're going to be signing some books right here in the back. We're going to get set up at that table with the tablecloth and the Sharpies. And don't forget to go to the well tonight. 1600 Basin. What's the address?
1600 Basin.
1600 Basin Street, 9:30. Thanks, guys.
Okay, now I'm gonna end the live.